Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel Hunch and Marinade. Today we're going to be talking about the latest HBO series, The White Lotus, which just wrapped up on HBO last night. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. And if you're new to our channel, the way we do things around here is we talk about the hunch, which is how we felt about what we're going to watch going in, how we were exposed to it, etc. Then the experience, which is how we felt about what we were watching during, typically before and then after, and then the marinade, which is how we felt about what we watched after we let it simmer and settle in for a little while. Yeah, let's go ahead and tell you how I felt about it. So for those of you who have not heard about this new TV show, The White Lotus, it is on HBO. I personally have not seen it advertised very many places. No one's really talking about it, to my understanding, to my knowledge, in my own circles. So let me tell you a little bit about how I was exposed to the show. I honestly don't really remember how I heard about it. I am almost 100% positive that it was as a preview on HBO, as like one of those upcoming like mini trailers that they show you before their shows. That's when I found out about it, and as soon as I saw Sydney Sweeney and Murray, I was sold. Like, it can be a garbage TV show, but I was still going to watch it because of those two actors. So let's talk about how I felt about it while I was watching it. So first and foremost, this TV show has a very large cast, and that's the thing that I enjoyed the most about it in the beginning. They introduce you to all these characters, and they're all, I wouldn't say colorful, but they're all very interesting in their own way. They have their own personalities. You have the angsty teenagers, a few of them actually. You have the rich people, the workers. Yeah, the characters were so just like engaging, and definitely a great reason to keep watching. Another thing that I really loved about the series going into it, and like the first half of it, was the cinematography. The actual day-to-day like going abouts of the characters was very interesting, but also the cinematography of Hawaii when they are showing you like the oceans and the waves, and it reminded me a little bit of Big Little Lies, but it was, of course, a different tone. And also the comedy, because this is a comedy, not gonna lie, this was my kind of comedy, because it's a subtle, dry humor. It's like a character will slip something in conversation just so casually, and it's funny, and it's not always like blatantly obvious that it's funny, but that's the kind of comedy that I like, because you have to be attentive, and it's like smart, if that makes sense. There is, of course, a lot of expressions, which I do find pretty amusing. A lot of the characters are funny in that sense, just very facially expressive. Now, when it comes to the actual cast, I almost said staff, because they are staff, except for one of them. Let's start with Jennifer Coolidge. She is an icon. She's been like in the behind the scenes kind of situation on all of the best comedies of the past 2 decades. I remember her from as far back as like maybe Lizzie McGuire. I think she's just great. Definitely underrated, even though she's been in a lot of different TV shows and movies. But moving on to Murray Bartlett. Okay, so I don't know if he's Australian or not, but his accent in the TV show, you cannot convince me otherwise. Like, he has to be Australian, and maybe he is. I just haven't researched it, but he did such a good job. He is kind of like, in a way, the villain of the TV show, but you wouldn't really know it, and you kind of don't want to accept it either, because he's just such a sweet person. And I also remember him from the HBO show Looking, which was also an exceptional TV show, and I haven't really seen him in anything since. Maybe a cameo here and there, a very small role. So I'm so excited that HBO brought him back for this. Well deserved. Again, he knocked it out of the park. So good. And lastly, probably low-key the biggest draw for myself for watching this show, not gonna lie, Sydney Sweeney. That's all. So, moving on. The second half... I really hope that made y'all's day as much as it made mine. Anyway, so moving along. So the second half of the TV show, I guess episodes 4 and 5, I thought it had 6 episodes, but apparently only has 5. So episode 4 was just so drawn out, and I felt like it could have been a 20 to 30 minute episode, and it was stretched out to a 50-minute episode. There was a lot of dawdling and just lingering on a scene for so long for no real reason. Not the best episode. On to the marinade. So, like I said, I've watched this show approximately 12 or so hours ago, And I would not be surprised if English or ethic teachers teach this as part of their curriculum, or at least study it at some point over a semester, because so many ethical and moral questions hit you in the face during the last episode that it really took me off guard, but I'm not mad. So many things. So this TV show, I knew it was exploring certain themes, but it wasn't so, like, the story was still moving along, so you weren't really questioning or trying to find answers to things. You were just going with the flow. But then once the stories start to resolve themselves, you're kind of like, is this good? Is this bad? So we confront colonialism, we confront abusing minorities, abusing power because you have money. Are modern day white people really at fault for what their ancestors have done? How much blame can they carry? And also even how comfortable you can be in a relationship in which you are unhappy, but that relationship opens a lot of doors for you. And so again, these are themes that were running along through the whole season, and you were going with it because you were expecting a resolution, a solution. And once we got those, they were, I wouldn't say controversial, but they made you question, they made you ask yourself, like, is that the right move? And that was fascinating to me. Yeah, I think all the storylines wrapped up really well. As expected, this is an HBO series, so it's going to be a little dark. Not all the endings were happy endings, and I appreciated that a lot. So once you think about all of the themes that it was asking you to question, this show is exceptional. I think I would give it as far high as a Ghost Pepper. But at surface level, if you're just looking at this as a form of entertainment, it's good. It's not, you probably won't remember it for very long, but it's entertaining. Although I think the ethical dilemmas that you're confronted with as a viewer, as a watcher, as an observer, during the last episode, they're very hard to miss. Because if you've been with these characters for 5 hours, you're gonna want to ask yourself, was this the right move? Are they making the right decisions, etc., etc.? So yeah, let us know what you thought about this show. Let us know if you've seen it. Let us know if you've heard about it. Let us know how you felt about the video. Give us more recommendations on what to watch. I should have a string of videos that I have lined up and just need to edit, so keep a look out for those. And yeah, thank you for joining. Catch you next time. Bye. Can't really tell you what I've been watching on HBO specifically lately, other than the new Gossip Girl, which is let's start with